All right, here we go. From the Daytona 500, Chris Scala, Rick Donathan up here in the booth as we get ready to go racing for 200 laps, 500 miles. It is show that we have all been waiting for, and it is officially here, and it's going to happen very shortly. Rick Donathan, my friend, Extreme Motorsports, well represented in this league with 3 other leagues, and it's going to be a fun race.
Absolutely. I tell you what, beautiful day here in Daytona International Speedway, and we have got some exciting drivers out here in the field, Chris. Expecting to see one heck of a race here this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I cannot wait for this. I've been nervous. I've been anxious because I'm like, all right, how's this race really going to play out? Is it going to be what we're looking for, or everybody going to show up? And the answer is yes, mostly everybody has showed up. The lineup is set. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the race. Derek Bordeaux on the pole. Now, here's the catch with him. A challenge was put out by Nathan Hagar, and he has asked Derek Bordeaux, and he's offering $10 to Bordeaux. If Derek starts last and wins this race, he earns $10. So Bordeaux will be the pole sitter, but he's going to go to the back and start in the back with the challenge. So that'll move actually Cheney up to first. Seth the Merchant going to start second. Bobby Cheney will start in the third position with Aaron Davis in fourth, and Bobby Zielinski are top 5.
McGill Gomes starting 6th place. Jake Nichols starting 7th. Brian Ray starting 8th. Chris Secoy starting 9th. And Tyler Ducharme, I'm sure
Ducharme. Close enough.
Ducharme, got that wrong, that name wrong there. So that's going to give you your top 10 there.
He deserves that. It's all good. Pop's going to start 11th. Marcus Richardson 12th. Brett Pancari 13th. O'Brien 14th. And Darren Moyer, your top 15.
Jonathan Thomas starting 16th. Femi Olat starting 17th. Brian Beeble starting 18th. Troy Downing 19th. And the 20th spot belongs to Nick Northrup.
We'll run through the field real quick here as they're on the back straightaway. Cameron Key going to start 21st. Schwint 22nd. Chance Crum 23rd. Aaron Richard, Justin Gable, your top 25. Sizemore, Lambert, Pipgrass, Denise, Redmond, Welzenbach, Hagar, Rasmussen, Shipman, Caressel, Newland, Lane, and Wilms. Going to round out the field of about 30-something cars here. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely, and I tell you, they're coming out of turn 4, getting ready to get that green flag. The adrenaline is starting to roll in these guys' stomach here as we get set for a 200-lap race here this evening here, Chris.
That's funny. All right, pace car's off. Are we ready? Woo, NASCAR, Daytona 500, we're green. Now, these drivers do have 2 resets in this race. I will put that out there now. They do have 2 resets. I was willing to work with them on this one because I know this could be tricky. Some guys hadn't even been on the track yet with each other here. As we've had to fill in some of the field, and we're ready to go as Cheney and DeMerchant side by side for the lead. Here comes the 21 of Zielinski and the 20 of Aaron Davis pushing them down the back straightaway for the first time.
Jake Nichols right out there at that 5th place position. It looks like we got a caution out on the field.
Really?
Trouble. That's not good. And we got a wreck on the back straightaway here. It looks like Caressel's involved in 93. I see Rasmussen involved. That's not the way we want to start this race.
Quite sure the 78 there. What was going on there, Chris?
Not sure. We're going to see here in a second as they go into turn 1. They're 3 wide already. The 30 of Lane, the 78 of Redmond. They're almost 4 wide off of 2. Oh, and the 78 and the 30 hook.
Yeah.
People trying to push each other down the straightaway already.
Wow. A little early in the game to be doing stuff like that, you know. Not even got a lap under our belt here. You know, we're trying to go 4 wide. That's a tough break. A lot of extreme motorsport cars I'm seeing there. It got wiped out almost at the beginning of this thing, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunate deal there, but caution out for the first time here is looks like Stuart Redmond coming together with another car. But we do got pit stops. They got resets. And we'll try this again. But lap 1 in the books, and unfortunately under caution for the first time.
Tough break for those guys there, and tell you, we still got, looks like Seth the Merchant was able to, well, no, take that back. I thought Seth may have been able to move up in that top spot there, but Bobby Cheney still held on to it back there on the backstretch.
Yep, that's what we got here. Is we're going to see some cars coming to pit road. Maybe, as I mentioned, the old school fuel system. If you remember back to about 2000, you might remember actually about 2002, 2003 or so. I don't know why my graphics keep doing this, but I'm working on it, boys. Be patient with me watching on the stream. But back to 2003 or so, they had fuel cells that were only about 13.5 gallons. Basically, when that happened, we decided we're going to put that in the car, and it shortened up the fuel in the car, and it worked out. And that's what we got here today in this car. So 13.5 gallon fuel cells in the car, and that'll shorten up how far we go on a fuel run, which should be only about 30 to 32 laps.
I expect to see a lot of green flag pit stops taking place here today, Chris, and that's really going to spread the field out. You're going to have cars just about all the way around this track at some point in time. Once we do get these guys going green, they kind of settle down just a little bit and realize that we got a long race ahead of us here. So definitely be looking for some green flag pit stops later in the race.
Looking forward. Hopefully that'll be a wake-up call for the drivers that know, hey, we cannot be doing anything like that at the start of a race. We got to be patient and know that, you know, you got plenty of time. You got 200 laps in this race. Yes, the ticker does say 225, but again, those on the stream, the 25 bonus laps are for the green-white checkers to happen. Unfortunately, iRacing does not have a setup for green-white checkered yet, and hopefully they're working on that sometime. And but we don't have that right now.
Chris, have we told our viewers yet about that green-white checkered and how that's going to work today?
We have not, and here's how it'll work. While we're under caution, I'll explain it. If it's almost like the ARCA series. If you're a fan of the ARCA series, you know that they do not end under caution at all, even on the final lap if a caution were to come out. Basically, when the white flag comes out, if they finish under green, they do. If a caution comes out coming out of turn 4 to come to the checkered flag, the race is not over. Basically, they'll regroup up and do a green-white checkered finish. The race must end under green, and I think that's going to definitely put an element into it here today. So, looks like Jonathan Thomas and Stuart Redmond are a couple laps down already. Don't know if they had a tow or what, or if they're behind the wall already, but Redmond's on the track. He must have blown his engine, and Thomas still on pit road getting his car worked on, so we'll have to get updates on those guys.
Tough break for those guys there early in the race. You know, I believe they're still going to have time to be able to get out and make some time up, so forth. So we'll definitely eye on for those guys. But want to take time out, Chris, to thank the viewers for being here today. Like we got about 27 people that has viewed in, and you know, rule of thumb, Chris, way I've always seen it on live streams, usually there's always a group of people watching the live stream. So if you multiply that by just say on an easy way of 2, like we're going to have probably close to about 52 people out there watching. So that's great to see, and we appreciate those guys tuning in here this evening to watch this great race here at Daytona.
Yeah, definitely much appreciated. We're on for a show here, guys. I know we've had a quick caution here, but you know what? That's going to happen sometimes, and we'll get the show on the road. We had a 50-lap qualifying race last Sunday that actually turned into 1 caution and 30 lead changes. So this could easily be one of those kind of races again. I mean, we're going to have our cautions, but we'll hopefully be able to put the show on the road and nobody make any kind of weird moves like what just happened there at the beginning of the race, unfortunately, with some bumping and that kind of thing. Just be patient and ride. That's all you can do right now.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, just looking at some of the names that's in here, great drivers. Chris, have you got any idea who is your? I'm not going to say favorite because sometimes that can be a tough word in racing, but who's your money on? Who's your money on today? Who are you going to see come across the finish line today in first?
Putting the pressure on me, are we? There's some good drivers. Tell you what, I look at the drivers who know how to get to the finish. That's what I look at. And I look at me. Bobby Chaney's one. Marcus Richardson's another. Those two are probably at the top of my list. Tell you what, some of the guys at Extreme Motorsports. You look at Welzenbach. Those guys there. Aaron Richard. I know he can get to the finish. So I mean, there's plenty of drivers. I mean, in the end, if you're on the lead lap, you have a chance to win the Daytona 500.
I tell you what, that was an excellent question, answer to that question there, Chris. You should be a politician because you still didn't answer that question.
All right, if I had to pick one, my money, I hate to go with the obvious, and everybody in the stream's like, oh, big surprise. Marcus Richardson.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I have so many guys that I know that's in this race. Seth the Merchant's going to be a tough racer.
Yeah.
I've known him for quite some time. Very good racer, very clean racer, very professional. But I tell you, I'd probably get ganged up once I walk over to my extreme team speak over there. So I definitely would have to say that Wazenbach may be your winner today.
Okay, not a bad pick. Green flag back out, lap number 5. Let's see if we get a green flag start now. As good restart for Seth the Merchant. On the outside there is he got the pretty good jump there. Cheney got Zielinski there in his back bumper. Let's see if we can go green.
Well, we got that first caution knocked out of the way there. The butterflies have probably went away just a little bit. Now it's going to be white knuckle racing. So these guys out there on the backstretch getting it done. Just going to see a lot of them just kind of falling in their place there. It looks like the 21 of Bobby Zalaski kind of tucked in behind the 24 of Bobby Cheney there. Looks like those guys are going to try to get hooked up there, Chris.
Yeah, you see the 73 of Jake Nichols on the outside, but Aaron Davis right there. DeMurchie mentioned Zielinski there. He's also got the 35. Miguel Gomez off of turn 4, and I think we're going to be okay. We got a green lap in, boys. DeMurchie, your leader.
Seth the Merchant up front, and looks like Aaron Davis kind of tucked in right behind him. I tell you, these guys have got that outside, that high line up there working pretty good for them right now.
That outside line might be the place actually to go in this race, especially on the longer run. These tires start wearing out. You see Nichols make a move to the bottom, but that outside line, less bumpier up there with this old track, that might be where you go later.
Absolutely. I tell you, the guys are looking pretty good out there. I hope these guys just take their time, Chris, and it looks like they're starting to just kind of fall in its place and so forth. Sometimes these guys can get real excited. 3 wide, they're getting ready to cross the start-finish line. The 73, and the 2, and the 1.
Yeah, that's Jake Nichols there in the bottom. Here comes Richardson. I just mentioned his name. Ducharme there. Also Femi Olot and more. Meanwhile, Jonathan Thomas apparently has got some stickum on his pit stall and is stuck on pit road. Tough break there for the 5.
Tell you what, even though seeing some of these guys that are having some early pit stops, again, there's so many laps we're going to be doing here today. They've still got plenty of time to be able to catch those laps up.
Yeah, so many guys. Look at this pack, good 20 to 25 cars strong off of turn 4. These guys just trying to get into a rhythm with DeMerchant there in the front. Looks like starting to separate into a little bit of a pack here. Got the double file guys here, and then a little bit of a gap as Thomas is finally coming off of pit road after his stickum. He apparently got everything off of his tires that he needed.
Tell you what, looking up there at that top line, 33 of 70 Merchant still making it stick up there on the high side. Tell you, it doesn't look like he's losing any ground at all. Getting a lot of help from Aaron Davis there as they're on the backstretch. Looks like they're almost kind of pulling away there as the 2 car, Marcus Richardson, starting to make some leadway and kind of get up there and give those guys some competition side by side as they come out of turn 4.
Yeah, great racing here so far up in the front. And you look back there towards the middle of the pack. That second group being led by James Wilms, the Cheetos car, the 012, I should say. As it looks like some cars are blinking, but I think that's more on my end, not on anybody else's, so hopefully nobody's panicking. It's probably on my end. But DeMerchant doing a great job in that outside lane.
Absolutely. Taking a look back here toward the back, just kind of looking at some of the other guys. Take a break from the lead up there. Everett Lane trying to work with the 93 of Aaron Richards. Chris Sarkois making some things work back there toward the back as well. Looking good out there. Those guys look like they kind of gotten on a board here, taking their time, and looking for a long race here this evening.
Yeah, speaking of towards the back, Derek Bordeaux. We mentioned his name. He took the challenge from Hagar to start in the back. He is up the 6th car on the outside lane there, right behind Michael Rasmussen. The Budweiser car already up to the 13th position after starting 37th on the grid.
Wow, I tell you what, he took didn't waste any time at all trying to work through the field there, and It's going to be real interesting to see where he's sitting at halfway through this thing.
Lead change. Richardson up to the front now. But, yeah, I'll tell you what, Rick, it's been, we got 3 wide. Somebody up the middle here. Looks like
Whoa.
the 29 there of Brandon Pipgrass going to push Cheney up there to the front.
10th car, Justin Gable there, came right across the 24 of Bobby Cheney as Cheney was trying to make something happen up through the middle there. But, you know, what we see up here in the booth, Chris, is completely different after what's going on the track. You know, we may see a guy look like they're going to cut somebody off, or we may see a guy that looks like he may be just trying to put the old chrome horn right into the rear end of somebody out there. But, you know, just so our viewers out there know that maybe not as familiar with iRacing, these guys, you wouldn't believe the communication that they're having in TeamSpeak, working with each other. So some of these quick moves that you see could be done purposely because these guys are working together out here, and they've got to be really fast to make things work.
That's exactly it. These guys communicate privately in what they call TeamSpeak. We have multiple channels. I know the Extreme Motorsports 99 guys have it. SRA guys have it. We have it at USRC. They're all different TeamSpeak channels. These guys communicate. You could hear easily one of them say, "Come on down," or clear high, or that kind of thing, to try to work with each other to be patient as Tyler Ducharme's going to make a move to the bottom now for the lead. But that's part of it, the communication. Maybe here later in the race, I'll actually turn on some of the chat that you hear during the race to let you see what some of the things are being saying, but I will warn you in advance. It can be kind of lippy and kind of rated R.
Yes, that's true. I tell you, it's competition. Competition can be very stressful sometimes, and it can always happen. But I want to take a look at our viewers here. Is it Robbo 77?
Oh, Robo, Austin Roberts.
Obviously, he must be a Marcus Richardson fan because he is saying that he is the car to beat today, Chris.
Well, Austin was supposed to be in this race. Unfortunately, had some personal obligations to take care of, and he elected to give Nick Carresso there in the 13. You see him in the old school Little Trees car there, running mid-pack there. But Austin had to put family first, which I have no problem with, and elected to stay out of the race. Austin actually a co-owner at the Sim Racing Authority League with Bobby Cheney, and as a matter of fact, they have a race tonight as they wrap up their season at Homestead in the Truck Series.
Caution is
out. Second caution, looking for it. Let's see. Oh, looks like the 30. Eric Lambert's involved.
Looks like he got a little high up here connecting into that wall. Once he connected to the wall, Chris, he just couldn't hold his line and just brought her on down.
Yeah, Stuart Redmond involved. Looks like James Williams involved. The 6 of Louis Denise involved. Schwent doing a good job backing off. But
wow.
Second caution out, that back towards the back of the pack, unfortunately.
Tell you what, you get up there in these corners here. Now, we've been talking about how that high line's been working for everybody up there, and this old track of Daytona, the old school track, you can make a lot of things happen up there in top, but one of the things to keep in mind that you're so close to that top wall, and if you touch that wall, that's it. It's going to suck you right into it, and the next thing you know, you're going to have 4 wheels up in the air.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I'm a victim of that myself when it comes to the car just getting stuck up there in the wall. And, you know, me and the wall get to know each other a lot, it seems like, in races. But the trick is you just got to be patient and just let it stay up there in the wall. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. As let's ride with Williams here. On board the 012 Cheetos. Decided last minute he wanted to run. He did practice a lot. But then decided he wanted to race, and he's helping admin also. So got some admins that are racing at the same time, want to have a little good old time, and I have no problem with that. And you see there's Lambert up to the wall. Looks like they almost touch. And then there's the contact. Bam. Williams got his own Twitch channel up right now, broadcasting over at Xmacia if you want to ride on board his car. But Williams, a fun driver to be around, and I wonder if we're going to have pit stops. I'm thinking we will.
Absolutely. Now's the time to take advantage of those pit stops, trying to top off some of that fuel. Remember, 13.5 gallons is all these guys have. They put the small fuel tanks in the cars here this evening. And definitely, I'm going to say at this point in time, you're probably going to see guys at least fuel. Not sure about tires. Daytona's not too bad on the tire wear here, but that's just a throw in the hat. I know that normally if I run at Daytona, I usually don't ever get any tires. Chris, what about you?
The new track, yes. This track, maybe. Only because it's an older track. There is a little bit of tire wear here, but I think on a run like this, I think you're okay with no tires right now. But if you get a green flag run as we watch cars enter pit road here, as we go back and watch a lot of the leaders, some staying out. Looks like Cheney staying out, Aaron Davis staying out, the Merchant staying out. But a lot of cars coming to pit road here to get those four Mr. Feelgoods, as we call them.
Chris, is there any way we might be able to get, like, talk to Seth the Merchant there, how he's feeling up front?
Let me see if I can get to Seth here. Not sure if he's in our channel or in the SRA channel. Might have to get to him here in a second. But you know what? I could probably jump into the race chat here and talk to him. So let's see.
What?
Seth the Merchant, Chris Scala in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, Seth, tell you what, you're putting on a pretty good show right now. I know we've had two quick cautions here, but some great racing up there for the lead.
Shit, Whelms, what are you doing sitting there?
And I mentioned that whole rated R stuff.
Pit lane was closed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to ride in line here and just make it to the finish. I don't want to race too hard right now, but we'll see what happens.
You got a question, Rick? If so, you can ask in race control.
Yeah, Seth the Merchant, Rick Donathan up in the booth. You're live across the airways right now. Tell you, making it look pretty easy out there, even though you say that you're just kind of taking your time. But I tell you, it looks like the thing's riding on rails, and looks like the 20 Aaron Davis. You guys working together out there?
Was he able to hear you? Seth, not sure if you were able to hear Rick or not there, but he asked if you and Aaron Davis working together. It looks like your car is running pretty well. Is it as easy as it looks?
I couldn't hear him, but yeah, me, Aaron, Bobby, we're working together here, just trying to make it to finish. We're going to pit, I think, offset from everybody else so we can get in our own little pack if we get a green run here.
All right. Well, good luck in the 33. Looks like we'll probably get one to go here this time. Yeah, we got you set up as an admin, Rick, so feel free to use that race control. I don't know if you were in there as race control or not, but because I don't have it on the screen. But either way, though, Seth the Merchant doing a pretty good job there in the 33, running in the lead there as he's led so far 10 out of the first 17 laps. As I mentioned, we've been hampered by two cautions so far. So as they say, though, with these kind of races, this kind of field, some of these cars will sort themselves out, and then all of a sudden we will get those long green flag runs later on in the race.
Absolutely. Let me do a real quick radio check in here right quick. I switched over channels, and let me see if that thing works.
Everybody,
So right now, let's look at your order. Seth the Merchant, Aaron Davis, Bobby Cheney. Your top three, Chance Crum in fourth right now. Tyler Ducharme fifth. Marcus Richardson, Justin Gable, Femi Olat, Derek Bordeaux, Michael Rasmussen. Your top 10, Nick Caressel, Brandon Pipgrass, Gomez, Mark Newland, Cameron Key right now. Your top 15 as we get ready to go back to racing. And I know Daytona 500 qualifying going on right now. No spoiler alerts, please. That's the one rule I have. Because I do have a DVR'd for later that we'll watch. What?
No.
all right.
Rick's out there doing the sound check with his boys right now, and he should be good to go. Looks like he's able to chat with them. Now, Rick, I've been waiting to do this in the 500. I'm going to do it early because I want to do it again later. But we're about to go back to green. And for the viewers who have never watched a race on For Racers Only TV, this is for you. Let's go wide open and restart. they're wrecking again here off of 4 to Tri-Oval. Redmond's involved. Looks like Redmond involved in a wreck here. And caution number 3 on the track. I heard somebody hit the wall off of turn 4. Bummer deal here. Looks like Everett Lane's going to be involved in the 01 maybe. Oh, Downing spun around there. Looks like some cars there in the wall to 73 at Nichols. Everybody's trying to give each other room, and then bam, Sequoia into the wall. The 01 to 27 involved. Wilm's going to get some more damage, and Redmond's going to about kill the pace car.
Yeah, it looks like, going back to the replay here, Chris, looks like the 79 of Matt Wazenbach got into the right rear corner of, I believe it's going to be Chris Sequoia's, the 28, and that's probably what started that caution there.
Yeah, tough break there as we're getting underway, and it looks like just unfortunately right now, just people are just anxious and just racing too hard right now to start. And just unfortunately people making contact here. Let's down the back straightaway here into turn 3. We're going to watch the replay here from the start. Oh, there's one car into the wall. Oh, and Troy Downing gets turned by somebody back there. He ends up in the wall. Northrop ends up in the wall. Nichols is already across the wall. It's like everybody's wrecking. And then bam, the wreck in the Tri-Oval. These guys haven't learned, unfortunately, that the bumper hook is real on this track. That's the one thing that it seems like they're not figuring out, is that the bumper hook is for real. There's no way really to push.
Yeah, tough break there, and again, these guys are just really going to have to just kind of calm it down just a little bit here. There's so many laps left in this race. We're at lap 21, and we've already had a handful of cautions. It's just these guys are really got to sit down and focus on what they got to do here and get things done.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm actually going to jump in here real quick and talk to the guys and just kind of pump them back up here because I know there's some tough racing going on here. So I'm going to go talk to the guys real quick here. I forgot that I'm in a spectator, so I'm just going here to talk, I guess. Hey, boys, just want to come in and just have you guys relax. Just relax. I know it's some fun racing out there, especially in the front, but you guys be patient. There's still 200 or still 180 laps to go in this race. Be aware of the bumper hook. As you're seeing, almost all these wrecks are from just people making little mistakes and stuff. So just get out there, get in a rhythm, and just ride. The only way you're going to get to the win is to finish. So 2-3 wide stuff's fine if you can handle it. Just back off and ride. Get in single file if you need to. You guys are good enough. You know what you're doing. Good luck. As positive as I could put that. So, but unfortunately, the third caution out here at lap number 22. Now, I don't know if this is a product of the weather. I set the weather up exactly like it was in the practice earlier. There was a practice we had put up so I could figure out if I need to fill in drivers or not. And the weather is exactly what that was. So hopefully they were able to adjust their cars to that. But as of right now, unfortunately, it's been a little bit of a rough start.
Absolutely. Just a little bit of a rough start here. But I tell you, I want to talk about this buffet bar that you brought here today, Chris. This Buffalo chicken dip is off the chain here today.
I don't play around.
That, yes, it's awesome. Awesome.
Tell you what, crock pot. I can definitely can work some buffalo chicken dip in there. A little bit of Frank's hot sauce, a little bit of ranch, and chopped up some chicken. Got some chips here, and I'll wait till halfway later on. I'll show you what I have for you.
Sounds good. I'll tell you what, I'm chomping away over here, and looks like I believe it's going to be Slam. He's got his popcorn out watching.
Yeah, Slamaflies. Matt Simpson there watching us. Matt Simpson, a fun guy to be around. I know he gets to race a lot. He's the guy that races over at Sim Racing Authority. A lot of these guys that we race with, we've all been in a group for over a year racing with each other. It's a great group of guys to be around, and And we definitely like to have a good time. But I do want to send a shout out to all the leagues involved here. There's 3 leagues that have representatives in here, and there's some others sprinkled in. But, of course, you guys at Extreme Motorsports, you guys race every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, and you have a hosted session once pretty much every hour, it seems like, that they can join. But you got a B car, you got the trucks, and I know you got some other stuff that you guys are working on also.
Oh, yeah, I tell you, we got lots of things coming to ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and the turnout has just been tremendous. We've just really been very fortunate to have the guys that we've got. We're 30 to 35 plus car fields each of our races. Monday night, for our members only, we'll be starting our road series. We've got a schedule put together for our road series, and we're still in development for our Cup series that will kick in next season. Some other things, Chris, that may be coming later down the road is our K&N series. So we got many things coming to ExtremeMotorsports99.com. So tell the viewers out there, make sure to check us out, and don't hesitate to join us in TeamSpeak. We love to meet and greet with folks.
And you're going to see throughout, guys, I've actually set this up on purpose. You'll notice on the bottom of the screen, when somebody pokes me, you just saw there Andy Moore, who is actually helping us admin. He's poking me at the bottom. And if you look in the bottom right, if anybody today has a penalty, it'll pop up on the screen, and you'll see it, so that they'll be able to see that through TeamSpeak. But going back to what you were saying, Rick, yeah, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. The website's phenomenal. You might get spooked by the song real quick, because it's happened to me a few times just from jumping on it. Oh, yeah, there's a song. But it's okay. You won't be the first. Tell you what, fantastic website, Rick, and we've actually announced to our league, and I'm going to go ahead and announce it to everybody now out in public. We have a new website coming, and it's all thanks to you, Rick. Rick actually helped build it, and we're putting the final touches on it, and we're going to launch it here very shortly, along with our new season coming up in a few weeks with USRC.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, Chris, it was an honor and pleasure being able to do some work for you guys, and really enjoyed it, and hope that the viewers out there enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I think they will. It should be a lot easier than what we had before. But hey, pace car is going to pull off. We're going to try this again. We still have 176 laps to go in the Daytona 500, the old new school edition, and Seth the Merchant, Bobby Cheney, they've been the ones up front. Aaron Davis in third, Tyler Ducharme, Chance Crum, your top 5, and let's say a prayer, Rick. Let's get there.
I think we're going to be just fine, Chris, just fine.
All right, here we go. Pace car is off, back to racing at Daytona.
As we sit up in the booth, we're very quiet just to see how this thing kind of falls out. Chris,
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Everything's looking good. Yeah, everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. These guys going to get their head back in the game here and try to make some things happen. As you can see, it looks like the number 33, Seth the Merchant, the 20, Aaron Davis, still working together up on that high line, Chris, making it happen. I don't think I've seen them take the low line yet since we've dropped the green flag at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, Pops, not to change there, Pops was on the apron there in trouble. Looks like Brett Pancari coming to pit road in the 19, unscheduled pit stop there, but you mentioned Aaron Davis. Yeah, the high line is almost a place to go, and it looks like they might be trying to form this high line. Oh, and I said it, the Merchant crosses over to the bottom. He wants to go back to the front.
Absolutely, and I tell you, just so the viewers know out there, it looks like, let's see, I caught his name. NASCAR Ryan was introduced to iRacing just the other day, Chris, asking about if is he able to get involved in racing with these guys and so forth. Just to tell you folks out there a little bit, again, that's not as familiar with iRacing but enjoy watching the shows, you're going to see a lot of drivers out here switching back and forth. You'll see a car go down low and a car go back up high. These things, if they stay behind each other for a certain period of time, they will overheat, and once they overheat, they will blow the engine. So you're going to see a lot of guys working with each other, but don't be surprised to see somebody go completely low and come right back up in front of the guy behind him. That's teamwork out there. The guys are working together just so that way they can cool their engines off a little bit.
Mark Newland with some issues. He's stuck up against the wall. I don't know if he had internet issues or something, but he is looks like he got off the track. Definitely great news there, but tough break for Newland. He put the car looked like it was stuck up against the wall like or something, like he went black screen or something there. But Mark Newland, one of the fill-in guys, actually a fellow radio DJ like myself, works down in Tennessee, actually, in a country radio station. Him and I ironically got to race with each other. It's kind of weird, but for him, as DeMerchant continues to lead.
DeMerchant making it look easy out there, but I tell you, take a look at that number 10 car of Justin Gable. It looks like him and I believe it's going to be the number 83 of Chance Crum trying to work together. Looks like we got another caution that's came out.
And caution number 4 on the speedway. I see who it's for. Oh, the 44, Brian Bible. Troy Downing involved. And let's see what happened here. Bible back here on his own. I don't know if it's going to happen up ahead. But unfortunately, it looks like the caution blues are out. Oh, yeah, it looks like somebody got turned and looks up ahead a little bit here. Trying to see who that car is.
Looks like the 84 of...
that'd be Kevin O'Brien.
84 and the number 30 of Eric Lambert got into it there, coming out of going in down there in turn 1, in between 1 and 2 there, Chris.
Yeah, it looks like Pops got through. Downing involved. Zielinski makes it through. Wee Wee's involved. Jonathan Shipman. And it looks like a lot of these wrecks happening out towards the back, unfortunately, where you would think that's the safest spot to go. But it's not been the way it is, unfortunately, today. The front running pretty good. The back struggling. It's usually the other way around.
Going back and looking at Kevin O'Brien's car there, it looks like it's a little bit of net coating, Chris. They actually never made any contact. But going back to Kevin O'Brien's car, looking in the cockpit there, this track is the old Daytona. And I want to make sure our viewers are aware of that. Now, this track is going to be a lot bumpier than the new track. Keep in mind, the new track has been repaved. It's a lot smoother. And you're talking about the new Gen 6 out here running on the old track. So when these guys are going in the corners, these things are bouncing all over the place. It's not smoothed out. So it looks like Kevin may have just got a little too close up there. But I'm not going to say, Chris, that he bumped into him simply because of the net coating issue. Never saw him touch.
Yeah, and Kevin is actually from Australia, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but he goes off the Australian servers. That could easily have been the cause of that whole thing happening. But we do got pit stops. Leaders in. DeMerchant with a quick gas to go. He's gone. Richardson, him and Bordeaux close off pit road. Looks like Chance Crum going to be for Cheney, and then Aaron Davis as we have pit stops again. Looks like Justin Gable going to stay out in the 10.
Tell you what, there's that 4 of Bordeaux that you were talking about earlier in the race. Now, when these guys come out, he's right behind Seth DeMerchant. Seth DeMerchant been running first place all day today, just about. Now he's got the 4 of Derek Bedore right on his back door now, Chris. So, interesting. Going to see what's going to happen here when the green flag drops again.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one here. Looks like Justin Gable will stay out. He'll take a bonus, or I say a bonus point like it's a league race. He'll lead a lap. Rasmussen going to be second now. Caressel going to stay out. And here's one of those Extreme Motorsports 99 boys. Aaron Richard up in the 4th position, it looks like. Nice job by him so far. O'Brien going to stay out, and then the guys who just came off of pit road, DeMerchant, going to, looks like, line up in about the 6th spot. Now, to answer NASCAR Ryan's question, if you have iRacing, that's step 1. If you have a lot of the tracks, that would be step 2. But there are ways you can join any of the 3 leagues we've been talking about. All you have to do is go to the iRacing leagues and just apply, and pretty much you're in. We are glad that Wilms got you introduced to the streaming and stuff, and hopefully you're enjoying this, as this is one of our, I mean, I've tried to put on some of these races like this, but this is probably the closest to most organized I've been yet, and been able to get the biggest field for this kind of racing. So we welcome you in. We welcome you to be a part of all the leagues and iRacing in general, and we hope that you're able to jump on board, get a wheel, get some pedals, and have fun.
Hey, what I want to talk about you putting this thing together here, Chris. Now, I tell you, one, I want to say that what a tremendous job that you've done putting this thing together, combining 3 leagues together to put these guys out on the track together. I'm not quite sure if a lot of people out there know how hard and tough it can be is getting the right drivers in the right place all at the same time. And it looks like you've done a tremendous job here with the large field that you've got. So hats off to you there, Chris.
Yeah, it's with help with a lot of great leagues, and tell you what, it's been stressful at times. It's been stressful because we had practices where not many would show up, qualifying races where not many would show up. But you know what? I've taken notes on every little thing that's happened, so that next year when I put this race on again, I can figure out what the right moves to make are, and go from there. Now, to answer your question, what does TO mean? Up on this, it's been switching from out to not. Basically, when you see TO up on the screen, on the ticker there, that is basically they're still in this room, but they're out of the race, likely, or they're that many laps down. Like you looked, I saw James Wilms was 37th, I think, and it said like 10 TO. I think Wilms is actually out of the race, but he's helping admin the race. So Wilms won't leave, but you see like Brian Bible there, it says out. That's probably him blinking out, but when a driver is out of the race, that's when you'll see them switch to out likely and actually leave. So just to clarify what that all means. Hopefully that answers your question.
Hey, what it looks like a lot of viewers keying in today, asking a lot of questions about iRacing and so forth. Make sure to check them out at iracing.com. Go to their website, take a look at a few things there. I encourage you to make sure to get a good steering wheel, pedals. I tell you, I used to drive race cars in real life, Chris, not NASCAR or anything like that, but just your local Saturday night short track racing and so forth. Done it for a few years, and I tell you, a lot of people say you spend a lot of money in racing, and you can. But I tell you what, getting into iRacing has really filled that gap in my life for real live racing. Number two, don't have the time to dedicate to it. But I will say this, Chris, we'll spend some money to do it and do it right in iRacing, getting the right setups, the right pedals, the right steering wheel. And, of course, the longer you do it, you're going to want to start getting racing rigs and the whole shebang. So, tell you, this is the closest thing to actually jumping into a real car and actually doing it. It's just unbelievable what iRacing has done and has come a long way of making this simulator such a realistic, giving you the realistic atmosphere of being a real, true race car driver.
It's the closest thing we could have, and that's exactly it. So make sure you do go to iracing.com, as you mentioned there, Rick, and we're going to try this again. Pace car is going to pull off here as it goes through 3 and 4 on the high banks, and we're going to see Justin Gable lead. He took the outside lane, and the guy we know is Boom Boom, or Michael Rasmussen, the Dutchman. He's from Denmark. Really good road racer. He's going to start there on the inside of row 2. Aaron Richard going to be on the inside row 2 with the Merchant. So the top 3 staying out as we go back to racing here in Daytona. Take 5.
Tell you what, taking a look at that 93 of Aaron Richard there, that's one there that definitely could put this thing in victory lane. Definitely keep an eye on him today.
Now, politician Chris mentioned his name earlier, too, by the way. Let's put that out there. By the way, who painted that blue car? That's a pretty spiffy scheme. I mean, I think I know the guy who painted that.
That would be me. These guys were asking for a paint scheme to represent ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and went to our website there, and right there on the front page, I was able to put something together for these guys for this special event that you put together here, Chris. So it's all for good fun. Hope the viewers enjoy it out there.
Yeah, I tell you what, it is a nice looking paint scheme, and you've done a great job as you always do with all your work. So looks like the pack kind of spreading out a little bit here. I thought I saw some contact there mid-pack, but everybody cooler head prevailing. But let's see if they had taken these first 4 cautions to head and say, you know what, let's just sit back and ride. Nice say that, and look who's going for the lead. Here comes Bordeaux in the 4.
Bordeaux's worked his way up there all the way from the back of the pack.
He was the pole sitter. He elected to take a challenge from Nathan Hagar, saying that if he could win this race from the back, he would win money. It's taken him 34 laps and 4 cautions, and Bordeaux is going to lead this lap. Looks like the 23 of Jonathan Shipman with an unscheduled pit stop coming off the pit road. Either that or he's getting damage fixed. And as I mentioned, these cars do have the 2 resets, Rick. And once they get through these resets, that's when you're going to start really seeing this field shrink down.
Yes, absolutely. And I tell you, as long as these guys take their time, they're going to be able to finish out this race. And in order to win the race, they got to finish the race. That's one key factor in racing that's always been known as to be a true fact, Chris.
In order to finish first, you must first finish, as they say. So, Bordeaux continued to lead with Chance Crum there. And look on this outside. The Dutchman flying on the outside. Michael Rasmussen with help from Gable. He's looking for the lead with Marcus Richardson on the outside.
Notice that the Merchant there, I believe he may have just kind of fell back there just a little bit to catch up with his teammate, the number 20 of Aaron Davis. So look for those guys to start working together here very shortly, working their way back up to the field. Seth, the Merchant may have just kind of pulled over there just a little bit, wait for Aaron Davis to come up. So I look to see those guys up in front here shortly.
Marcus up the middle. What a move by the 2.
Marcus Richard gonna lead that lap there. Chris was able to secure that first place there, but I tell you, still, Derek is not going to let it be easy for him as he goes down on the inside, taking the low line there. Richard's going to try to make the high side work.
Yeah, Richardson doing a great job there in the lead. Bordeaux on the bottom. This is what it's all about here. These cars, they say these Gen 6 cars don't have the proper setups to be on this track, but if you work on it, this is actually the kind of racing you're going to get. And all these guys worked hard on this setup to get it off the ground mainly. And now they're doing a great job here and putting on a pretty good show here once we get the green flag going. Now, I'm not sure if this is a switch or if they're 3 wide on purpose, but Bordeaux is stuck in the middle. And they get single file quick.
See, the 2 and the 22 working together, making things happen up front there. And as they look in their rearview mirror and see Bordeaux back there, Crum, those 2 guys working together on the backstretch. But I tell you, again, Aaron Richard there looking good back there on the backstretch. The 29 looks like he maybe try to get up there to work with Aaron.
Oh, and they're going to hang out Michael Rasmussen, the 29 of Pipgrass there on the outside. Rasmussen being hung out. Proper English there, buddy. But Bordeaux going to go to the bottom with Chance Crum also. So let's hope and pray that this could be a green flag run, and let's get this field spread out and get some laps logged. Because one of the things I hate to see is a field where only... Oh, and I said as Rasmussen gets turned. I had to jinx it, didn't I? Everybody else going to check up. Rasmussen with a simple 360. One other car involved. Looks like the 73 at Nichols, but caution number 5 on the track. I had to say it.
Tell you what, I got to definitely go back and look at that inside cockpit from the 93 of Aaron Richard. Looks like, again, the bumpy track may have a little play in that, Chris.
Yeah, it looks like 29 of Pipgrass getting a little damage, but only a 3-car wreck. That could have been a lot worse. But this track not cooperating with the drivers, unfortunately, this evening, as you see Rasmussen getting turned. And caution out again.
Tell you what, going back, taking a look at that, it looks like the 93 may not have went in as deep as he may have could have. Bouncing on those little potholes that you've got going down there in turn 1, may have threw his car up there into the 22 of 22.
That's Rasmussen.
Rasmussen, yes. Tell you what, he got some tough names in here this evening, Chris.
Yeah, some of them are too easy, but that's the way it goes. But you know what? It gets me an opportunity as we get ready for pit stops here. Let's talk about our upcoming schedule here on For Races Only TV. And I tell you, we have a lot of scheduled races on the way here, starting with tonight. Yeah, I get to go back on the air tonight, and we'll have the Sim Racing Authority Truck Series, the PC Master Race Series. They'll wrap up their season at Homestead this evening, where Bobby Cheney trails Kyle Putz by 17. And he'll try to gain those spots back and win the championship. And then tomorrow night, we'll be back with Sim Racing Authority as somebody spun in the middle of the track on the front stretch there. I was trying to see who that is. That's kind of interesting. But we'll be at Homestead for that series also, as a lot of cars coming down pit road again. Homestead for the Gen 6 series presented by Llama Dog Racing. We'll have that for you coming up tomorrow night live. And then Wednesday, we return to the booth for your series, Extremes Motorsports 99 from the Texas Motor Speedway. Our friend Doug Blackman has put up a winning bounty, almost, should we call it.
Yes, and I tell you what, let me take a look over here, and I'll tell the viewers here a little bit about what that race is.
And basically, Wednesday night, we'll go on the air somewhere around 8:30 or so Eastern Time. And we will be on the air with Rick and I in the booth together. And tell you what, I've been in 4 of the races myself, and I've had about as much as luck as somebody playing a lottery ticket. And hasn't been that successful for me. I'm sitting like 30th in points or something like that after 4 races. But it's been a fun group of guys to race with, and I was glad to be able to get a top 10 at Dover last week.
Yeah, I tell you, going back to what you were talking about earlier, Wednesday night at ExtremeMotorsports99.com, we'll have our truck race that will be broadcasted live. Any driver that finishes the race, random drawing, will receive $10 in iRacing, either PayPal or iRacing credits. The winner will receive $15. And these guys, of course, must have raced in the previous 5 races to be eligible. And it's going to be our Doug Design Dash for Cash 25. That'll be here this Wednesday night. So make sure to tune in and watch these guys battle it out for some cold cash.
Should be a lot of fun. Maybe I ought to try some kind of shenanigan and enter the race, do the broadcast, and on the final lap put my car on the track so I finish.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And I got a
Tell
chance
you
for
what,
money.
last week I believe we had 37 trucks that entered the field. We had a good race there, and tell you that the fields just keep growing. Got a lot of great guys, and tell you, just been very fortunate, Chris.
Yeah, very fortunate to see what your series has done, considering it's brand new. I mean, it's got kicked off, I think it was in December or something like that. You got started with hosted sessions, and here we are, February the 15th, and you've got pretty good field sizes already, but you know what? That just comes from having good connections with people and having good people around you.
Absolutely, and I tell you that it's fantastic. The iRacing community has been great. We've got lots of great guys out there you get to meet, and a lot of friendships out there get developed over a period of time. I've been involved in iRacing for about 5 years. This is about the 3rd league I've been a part of, and this is I guess this is going to be the last league I'm going to be a part of there, Chris, as far as trying to get something up and going. It's not easy starting a league, and of course, Chris, you know that, running your league as well, it can be tough.
Yeah, we definitely have had our struggles with turnouts and with other things, but slowly getting it together. I'm trying to organize myself better as a person to put this league on. I know Pops has tried to help out as much as he can, and we try to put on the best shows possible for the viewers. I know the guys like for me to race with them, which doesn't allow me to broadcast live, but I still broadcast the races for them, though. And we still try to put on a good show for everyone.
Tell you what, this is something that these guys love to do, is to be able to broadcast these races live, call up their mom and pops and brother and sister, aunt and uncle, and of course their wife, and say, hey, watch me on live across the airways here. I'm going to be racing. So you get to see what these guys put so much time into. You get to actually see them perform here live across the streamway. Good for the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great streams, a lot of great racing, and it's all part of iRacing. I know a lot of people who like to just come out here and watch streams. I mean, I'm looking at who we have in here right now. A lot of great people watching us. James Wilms, ex-Macy, he's someone who streams and puts on some pretty good races. All of our viewers here tonight. Rick Allen watching us tonight. Not the NBC Sports Rick Allen, but Richard Allen, good friend of ours. He's helping admin tonight. Northrup, who I believe is out of the race, unfortunately, he's here watching us now. And Mr. Slamaflies, Wee Wee's here, and he's in the middle of the race still, I think. So many great viewers here, and I'll give shout-outs later on to those who are watching us, as I always like to do, especially the new viewers, which it looks like a good portion of these guys are new viewers.
It's always great to see these guys come over and view it, and this is what makes it happen. You know, there's a lot of things that just what Chris does in the background is unbelievable of the things that you've got to do to put things together to give the viewers out there a great show. And I tell you, just from some of the comments up there, I believe they're enjoying it here, Chris. So another great job that you've done here this evening as we're getting ready to go back to green.
Let's hope the racing picks up here. Aaron Davis going back to green is your leader. Again, if you're following us on Facebook and Twitter, I know USRC and For Races Only TV have a Twitter page. Rick, I believe you guys have a Twitter? Or Facebook, I know at least. But
yes,
we do
have a Facebook. Twitter, we hadn't got it quite up and running like I'd like to get it doing. There's somebody out there that's got our name, but going to see if we can't do to make some contact with them and see what we can do to get that name.
There you go. And basically what I'm trying to say in the end is hashtag ONS Daytona 500. Basically, it's old new school Daytona 500 as somebody's spinning over down in the apron off of turn 4. They reckon again.
I'm still seeing the green light.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's okay. I was trying to see who that is. Aaron Sizemore's on pit road, unfortunately. Couldn't see who that was back there.
Tell you what, that number 2 of Marcus Richardson set the Merchant back up on top of the leaderboard up there, working together. But I tell you, they got some competition coming right up to the field there of FEMA Olat, Aaron Davis, Bobby Cheney. Those guys are showing some muscle out here today and showing consistency. It looks like the 4 of Purdue may have got a little bit of the wall there up on that top side.
And they got their reset still to use. These guys really haven't been involved in any of the incidents, so these guys are doing fairly well up here as the pack's starting to spread out. The field's starting to shrink up a little bit, and here's when I think we're really going to see the racing pick up and less caution to see Wee Wee going a lap down, another lap down back there to 23 as he pulls over. But, yeah, I think we're about to that time where we're going to start seeing the racing really starting to pick up. And look at the single file outside line is starting to form. But, yeah, we definitely appreciate all the viewers watching us this evening. It's been fun, and I think we're in line for a long run here, I hope.
Absolutely. Tell you what, I'm gonna take a seat back here, take a look at this buffet bar. I see a couple cupcakes over here, Chris. I've got to grab a couple of these cupcakes here, and these guys have got their popcorn. I got to grab grab a couple of these cupcakes.
Yeah, I got the cookies and cream ones back there. Got some vanilla bean, all different types back there. But as you see, Marcus Richardson up in the front, the Merchant Finley, all on Bobby Cheney. Chance Crum, your top 5 as everybody's starting to go single file now. And I think they finally have woken up after 45 laps, said, you know what? It's time to relax. And you know what? We're going to relax with, I'm going to go get a cupcake myself, and we're going to let you, our friends, let's go wide open one more time. lap car, Jonathan Thomas there goes to the apron, lets everybody go on by. And you see the battle for the lead picking up. Bobby Cheney on the bottom, move the 2-4 to the front. Chance Crum going to go with him. But that single file line ended after about, 3 laps of running. And they're like, yep, let's start racing again.
Absolutely. I tell you what, looking good out here. But, man, I tell you, this race is just as good as this cupcake. Pretty good cupcake maker there, Chris.
What cupcake did you grab, might I ask?
I grabbed the ones that's got the sprinkles on it back there on the buffet bar.
Those aren't real cupcakes.
Oh, well, it's pretty good, whatever it is. Tell you what, taking a look back up toward the front here, Seth the Merchant and the number 20 of Aaron Davis has got separated a little bit. Looks like Seth maybe trying to work with the 24 of Bobby Cheney. We definitely keep eye up. Looks like the 20's worked his way back up on that low line there, Chris. Now he's working up toward the front, and it's going to be interesting to see if the Merchant can connect and get together with Aaron Davis again. The 4 of Bordeaux still making it happen up there on that top line.
22 cars still on the lead lap. We got about 4 different packs, and this is the big pack right here, as you mentioned, with Aaron Davis as they go up on the lap car. Jonathan Shipman, let's hope he gets out of the way. He does. Smart move on his part. And you mentioned Aaron Davis, him and Chance Crum coming together. The professional sprint car driver himself, Chance Crum, working his way. You might see his name down the road. A young man, I believe 17 or 18 years old, out of Washington. Race is spread. Oh, Rasmussen up into Marcus. He had a bump or something, got loose, and Marcus is spinning.
Oh, it looks like the 22.
And are we under? I think we're still green.
We are still green.
But Rasmussen had a bump or something. You saw his car just shoot up the track.
Yeah, hit that bottom apron. And once he hit that bottom apron there, Chris, tried to overcorrect it. Once he overcorrected, it threw him right up into the number 2 car of Marcus Richardson. Marcus Richardson almost had it held on and bounced off the wall a little bit and threw him down there on right at the entrance of pit road. But green flag still out.
Looks like Femi Olak got a piece of it here as we watch the replay again. We get to Rasmussen here, if I can. Oh, yeah, you see him right there on the apron. Bam, Marcus is wrong place, wrong time. And tell you what, if Gable missed that wreck and Zielinski too, what a hell of a job to miss.
Tell you what, Aaron Davis up in the lead. Bordeaux, am I saying that name
Bordeaux.
correct, Scott?
Bordeaux, close enough.
Bordeaux still running right behind in the 08 of Tyler.
Ducharme.
Oh, that's Ducharme. Man, I tell you, I got to pick up a Webster dictionary to look at some of these names. And I deeply apologize with all respect to these guys out here. Some of these names are pretty tough for me to say, but those guys are looking really good up there up front, kind of single filing it out. And I tell you, the more they single file it out, the more they're going to put the spread in between them and the next group that's behind them. Those guys working together, they're going to get a big lead out there. And the rest of the guys are going to try to just be trying to struggle together to just try to catch these guys, Chris.
Yeah, everybody just needs to get single file just ride. You see the first 7 cars right there in that front pack, and here's your next 2, Brett Pancari and Brandon Pipgrass. You got Olad, who's got a little bit of damage after that wreck with Marcus, him and Gomez. You got Pops back here on his own in the 12th spot. You got a whole nother pack of cars about 11 seconds back with Brian Ray, Nathan Hagar, Jake Nichols, and Justin Gable. And then another couple cars back here with Schwint, Brian Bible, Kevin O'Brien, and then the damaged car, Marcus Richardson, is back there also. But, yeah, so you're definitely getting a lot of packs here spread out, and I think this is purposely done, again, to just try to get to the finish, as we're just past quarter distance.
Yeah, taking a look back here at 13th position, Brian Ray, Nathan Hagar, Jake Nichols. Those guys, if they can work together, stack them up, one behind the other, just create a single file line there and just put the pedal to the metal, they could catch the bigger group up there. But I tell you, they've got to hit their marks, and they've got to hit them right on the money as long as we go green flag the rest of the way.
As we ride with Brian Ray, and for some reason, on my view, his wheel does not want to turn at all. That's kind of weird to me, but usually the wheel turns. So, Annie, I don't know if that's just a glitch on my end or what.
Tell you what, taking a look at the number 2 car out there, if you can get a shot of that out there, Chris. Number 2, Marcus Richardson, right now in 20th place. Got a lot of damage done to that car. One right there behind the driver's wheel, and then, of course, in the back end, tell you, he's got a lot of damage, but you know, that's the good thing you see about some of these guys out here. Just because they have a bad wreck or have a bad place, the will and the fight to get back out there and try to make it work and try to finish out this race, that's a true racer right there.
Yeah, Marcus doesn't give up on things. I mean, he'll get frustrated at times and might leave a race if it's like a short race and it wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck. But when you got a trophy on the line, you got $10 on the line coming up here in about 43 laps when we get to the halfway point. It's anything can happen in this races right now. You mentioned Aaron Davis in the lead in the 20. He wants to win that trophy, as I mentioned. For those who are just watching the stream, you want to know what the trophy looks like. Well, there you go. There's your trophy right there that somebody will win today in the Old New School Daytona 500. Part of the Old New School way, I should tell you also, Rick, the ticker that you see in the top left corner, that is not the normal ticker. In case you didn't see last week's SRA race, you'll see it tonight, our new one that was made by you, Rick. But the ticker you see up there at the top of the screen is actually an old CBS 1998 ticker. If you go back to the 500 that was won by Earnhardt, that was the one they used. I just took out the logo and everything. And Kressel's in the wall, and he's spinning. Him and Cheney. And caution is still not out. Well, did they save it, maybe? I saw they were blinking as I...
Now I'm looking at Bobby Cheney right now out on the track. I'm live. Everything's forward. I've still seen him run good.
Oh, never mind. I must have seen, maybe it was somebody else. Let me see here. Russell gets the wall. And after that, it goes blank on me. Well, the leader is now Derek Bordeaux, and this pack has shrunk up a little bit here. We're at 3 cars in this pack now. It's looking like an old race again.
Oh, yeah, the 83 Chance Crumbs got tucked in behind the board up there. The 20 car of Aaron Davis still running strong up there. The 93 looks like that's going to...
That's Aaron Richard, isn't it?
Aaron Richard, yes, Aaron Richard, but I think he may be a few laps down.
Aaron Richard, I have it 2 laps down right now to the leaders.
Yep.
Unfortunate break for some of these cars involved in incidents. There's Michael Rasmussen to 22. He's going to go a lap down, unfortunately.
You know what, just give an update to some of the viewers out there. We had 38 cars to start the field here this evening. Looks like there's 21 cars that are still on the lead lap as of right now. And looks like we may have 26 cars that's still out on the track.
And we got packs starting to form up again. We got one pack here that's the leaders with Bordeaux, Chance Crum, Aaron Davis, Tyler Ducharme, Seth the Merchant. Our second pack has 5 cars with Pancari, Pipgrass, Femi Olak, the 35 of Miguel Gomez is having a good run, and Bobby Cheney has joined this pack. And then you got a whole nother pack of cars back here for 3 or 4 or 5 cars. Brian Ray, Nathan Hagar, Nichols, Pops, and Richard Schwint. Schwint's actually not a part of it. Darren Moyer is, however. Moyer, I believe, is a lap down. And then Schwint's got a 3-pack with Bible and Gable, and Nick Caressel's there trying to catch up. So it's pretty much what it's come down to is packs. Just little packs here and there.
Bordeaux coming up on some lap traffic. Those guys are staying a little low there. 83 of Chance Crum still following in behind Bordeaux there. Those slower cars down on the inside shouldn't affect anything as long as they stay down there. Still got that main pack running up front up there. So definitely Chance Crum, Aaron Davis, Tyler Ducharme, and Seth the Merchant still running up front up there. So it's going to be interesting to see who Seth is going to try to connect with. I know he's trying to make it back up there to his teammate of the 20 car of Aaron Davis.
62 laps completed, just over 150 miles into the Daytona 500. Again, lap number 100, we will give an award for the halfway leader bonus. Whoever leads at halfway, just like the old Winston days when I think they used to give away, there was like $10,000 to the halfway leader or something like that. Same thing's going to happen today, except it'll only be $10. We don't have that kind of budget here. But still, and it looks like now we're getting that green flag look starting to shape up finally after all the incidents we've had. We've had, unfortunately, some attrition too as I look at cars that are behind the wall. Lewis Dennis Jonathan Shipman, Darren Sizemore, Newland, Lambert, Downing, Northrup, Welsenbach, Redmond, Wilms, all behind the wall. As we got pit stops happening here, Ducharme coming to pit road. Green flag pit stops. I mentioned the smaller fuel cells. Again, only about 30 to 35 laps on the tank of fuel here. Oh, Ducharme oversteps the stall. Looks like everybody topping off fuel.
Absolutely. I tell you what, just taking a look back at here toward the front, Bordeaux and Crum still stayed out. So it's going to be interesting to know how much fuel they are actually holding those sails out there. If you've got the other guys that just went in behind them just a few minutes ago going on pit road, these guys couldn't possibly have too much more fuel left in those things. So look for them to have another green flag pit stop here.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
Away.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, we went back to green right around lap 50, so we're about halfway into a fuel run for those who did pit at that last caution. So that should make it very interesting to see what's going to happen here. But Chance Crum switching up with Bordeaux. They're doing a little tandem pushing themselves. But I would not be surprised to see the second pack with Pancari, with Pitgrass, with Olot, and with Gomez. We'll keep track of them if they can catch these leaders with only a two-car tandem going on. As a matter of fact, the third pack is caught up themselves as here comes Femi Olot to pit road, the Mobile 1 car. We're going to have a pack of about 10 cars here very shortly.
Absolutely. And I tell you, that's what the viewers definitely want to see is those cars all just right on top of each other. Always make some good racing out there, Chris. Just to see those guys battling it out there. But I tell you, with the two up here, Crum and Bordeaux, not taking that pit, like I said earlier, at the beginning of this race, it's really going to spread drivers out around the track here. As you can see right now, Bordeaux and Crum making that switch down there in turn 3 and 4.
Marcus Richardson going to go lap down. It looks like the cars that just pitted are right up ahead here. You'll see Aaron Davis, Tyler Ducharme, and DeMerchant right up here just ahead. Appreciate Big Gun 86 watching from the UK. Appreciate it. I know it's about, 8, 9 p.m. over there right now across the pond.
It's again, I like to express, some of those viewers out there is not as familiar with iRacing as we hope that they would be, or as of today, that's going to start learning a lot more about iRacing. You meet many drivers across the world. This is just not in the U.S., but there's so many talented drivers out here, Chris, that folks will have the opportunity to meet and actually get out and race with. And, there's been a lot of drivers that's actually been found through iRacing that has been brought into the real world of racing.
Absolutely. 7:45 is what time it is. No, one, I think, particular story I remember is Martin Truex Jr. I believe there was one time he was either in here or it was like in NASCAR 03 or something like that, where Dale Jr., as you know, he's one of those world-renowned drivers who like to race in these simulations, raced against Martin Truex Jr. and lost to him. And he was like, whoa, wait a minute here. And went and they became good friends. And, of course, they raced with each other on the same team. And we all know how the rest of that story ended with both of them in NASCAR now.
Yes, absolutely. I tell you, I've had the opportunity, I'm sure you have too, Chris, being involved in iRacing. And once you become a member, you're able to go into some of these rooms here, or hosted rooms. The other night we had 5 actual Camping World Truck Series drivers, Ryan Reed, Ryan Truex, and a couple more other guys that were in at Dover with us. We had one heck of a race the other night. It was a 40-lap shootout, and I tell you, a lot of our guys actually were battling it out door to door with these guys, and it was just one heck of a race that we had at Dover the other night. And it was really nice to be able to run with some of these guys that actually do this in real life. So those are the things that you will have the opportunity to do. I've actually met Earnhardt Jr. before.
Oh, Pops is spinning into the wall. Or did he save it?
Like he may have saved it.
All right, he must be. I'm not driving Pops' car. Let me put that out there now. But Pops, what a save off of 4. I was on board with the big pack back there as you were talking, and all of a sudden I see his car dart out of nowhere.
Looks like him and the 93 of Aaron Richard got into it there coming out of turn 4. I'm just not quite sure.
He kept it out of the wall.
Kept it out of the wall.
I'll be hearing about that one for the next week.
Hey, at least he kept it going straight. There's another one. Old Dad can show you how to wheel that thing around here.
Wow, that might be the save of the day right there. But man, oh man. But you were talking about Dale Jr. Yeah, I know. I've raced with Bubba Wallace on my end a few times. I know Justin Boston, who's going to be racing with Kyle Busch Motorsports this year. I've been in a few sessions with him. So there's been Parker Kligerman's been in a couple of rooms. I know young man from Indiana here whose name is slipping my head. Losing track of Richard Petty. Dakota Armstrong, he has been in too a few times. So we've had our fair share of drivers that we've been able to race with now. But tell you what, let's put our attention back here to this mid-pack here. You got the lap car, Bobby Chaney, Zielinski, and Marcus Richardson's joined this pack now. And the rest of these cars are on the lead lap here. They need to get in line and follow those 3 guys. And they could work their way up there towards the front. Is there some, looking here on the screen, it looks like they are about, actually they're the leaders now because Bordeaux's on pit road.
Bordeaux on pit road, got to fill that fuel tank up. 13.5 gallons is what they've got here today. And again, you're going to see a lot of green flag pit stops here today. So it's vital to make sure to go down that pit road, not get caught speeding, and make sure you get those tanks filled all the way up. So real interesting.
Yeah, make sure you also enter on the backstretch. That's the main rule. And the one thing I've asked the admins to do, and that's poke me if there's any penalties. And I haven't been poked once with any penalty. Darren Moyer up against the wall. Him and Richards, and we got pit stops here. Marcus coming. Zielinski, Pancari might miss pit road. He's going to get in there. Oh, Marcus, look out.
Marcus got a little sideways. He's still on that grass there.
If anyone knows how to control a car, it's him. And, of course, somebody would come in here and ruin the qualifying earlier. Even I put the rule out saying no spoiling qualifying.
Uh-oh. That's going to put the, as of right now, let the field kind of fold out once they cross the start-finish line here. We'll see who is in the lead here as the big field's coming around now.
Looks like it will be Bordeaux again. Back to Bordeaux.
Yep.
As everybody gets off of pit road here, we'll get everybody cycled out here very shortly and see where everybody's running as we complete 72 laps in the Daytona 500. Rick, appreciate you joining us here on the chat.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me up in the booth here today.
No problem. And it's something I know a lot of people, we did a race a few weeks ago for your Extreme Motorsports 99 race, did a truck race at Daytona and put on a show. The guys did, and a lot of people were like, dude, go get that guy who was in the booth with you and bring him over here for the 500. I'm like, all right, I'll see what I can do.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun to be up in the booth here with you, Chris. Wish I could dedicate a little more time to it with you, but I tell you, it gets so busy with everything going on, and still with a new league, and just making sure everything is in its right place and finding the right admins to put in the right place. It's just so much up on the plate here I've got.
And that's totally understandable. I know one thing. When I get done with this race today, I'm going to go find the biggest bottle of beer or something and just chug it and just celebrate. 'Cause I'm like, hey, it's over with. I mean, not that it's been stressful, but, yeah, I'm just worried about it and put so much pressure on myself to make this race happen. And, and I think it's been a success. And then I can turn my focus to racing in this race because I've got about 2 or 3 different Daytona 500s I'm going to run. I'm going to run a truck race next Friday night. A Saturday, I'm running 2 B-car races. So, well, a lot of Daytona races myself coming.
But I tell you what, again, Chris did a remarkable job here putting this thing together, and I'm sure the guys out there appreciate it. And the viewers, based on what they're seeing, they love it. So fantastic job once again. You always put great shows on.
I'll appreciate it. Feel free to chat, guys, in here. You see we got plenty of people here. If you have questions about the race, want to chat about it, we're here to talk with you. But we're going to run through a full field lineup, little wild lineup order. Bordeaux's your leader right now. Chance Crum in second. They got about a 4.5-second lead over these three. Tyler Ducharme in third. Seth the Merchant and Aaron Davis your top five. Brett Pancari, here's a group of five here with Nathan Hagar, Brandon Pipgrass, Jake Nichols, Miguel Gomez. That is your top 10. 11th place, Brian Ray. He has got, looks like Marcus Richardson in tow there. Marcus got that reset, so his car's fresh again. So fresh and so clean, as the song says. Bobby Cheney in 12th. He's got Richard Schwentz, Superman there in 13th. Brian Bible in 14th. He's being pushed by Femi Olot. They're a little two-car tandem here. Justin Gable, Nick Caressel, another two-car tandem, 16th and 17th, as we have 17 cars on the lead lap. O'Brien, Marcus Richardson, Darren Moyer, Bobby Zielinski, your top 20 as that moves around a little bit. Pops, Aaron Richard, Michael Rasmussen, Jonathan Thomas, 18 laps down. So looks like 24 cars are still on the track here, and all within about 6 laps of each other. So there's still plenty of time to make up some laps and win this race.
Absolutely. And talking about time and making up time and making the race here, Tyler Ducharme, Seth the Merchant, Aaron Davis right now running 3rd, 4th, and 5th back there. Now, I've been watching these guys for the last few laps, and nobody's trying to overtake anybody. These guys have grouped up here, single file, and they are starting to catch the field here. Of course, they're trying to run down Chase Crum and Derek Perdue. They're trying to chase those guys down. They've got a pretty good little lead on them right now, but I tell you, these three guys, as long as they team up and they keep riding like they are, it's only a matter of time. They're going to chase these guys down, and we're going to see another battle up there, about a 5-car battle.
Absolutely. You see as we ride on board, Aaron Davis, the 20-car. Aaron has led 10 laps. So far, most laps led in this race, 20. By Seth the Merchant, all the leaders so far in this race. Click a button over here to get that all cycled out. Seth the Merchant has led 20 laps. Derek Bordeaux has led 18. Remember, he started in the back after a challenge from Nathan Hagar. Aaron Davis has led 10. Richardson has led 9. Chance Crum with 7. Cheney with 5. Gable with 4. Pancari, Rasmussen, and Ducharme have all led laps. So if I get my counter right here, that's 10 different leaders so far in this Daytona 500 after 77 laps, which unfortunately was marred early by about 5 cautions. Since then, we've gone about 35 or 40 laps on a green flag run.
Absolutely. I tell you what, I believe we're about at that point in the race that we're going to see a lot of green flag racing here this evening. Cars have kind of spread out a little bit. People have kind of calmed down just a little bit. They've got to really focus on what they've got to do to get up front. And I tell you, 78 laps into this 200-lap event here, got lots of more racing to be done. So, still, Chris, I tell you, these guys are doing a pretty good job out here. Want to take another look back up here at front. Derek Perdue and Chase Crum, those guys really clicking and making it work up there. But they know in their rearview mirror.
No, they're in the wall. I just clicked on him, and Bordeaux got turned in the wall. That bumper hook got him.
Oh, goodness.
They're okay. I mean, it looks like just minor damage to either car. As you said, they were doing great until that.
Yeah. Wow, that's really going to slow them down a little bit as they, Tyler and Seth and Aaron, they're going to really, that's going to be a big break for them because these guys are, redlining these things out. Of course, that's going to slow those cars down quite a bit. That three-man group there, that's going to give them a little bit there, just a little bit more edge to catch those guys.
Absolutely. As we complete lap 79, now Chance Crum, your leader, as Chance has done a good job. As we go back to that 3-car tango back here with Tyler Ducharme leading as we complete 200 miles this time by.
Yeah, taking a look over here at the Twitch page as some of the viewers looks bumpy down on the low end. Tell you what, the track is very bumpy around here. Keep in mind, this is the old Daytona track that we're racing here today. And as you know, Daytona was repaved. What year was it repaved there, Chris?
2011.
2011, repaved in 2011, and of course it's a real smooth track. The Gen 6 car is really fast out there on that new surface. But taking the Gen 6 here, like we've done today, back to the old track, is really challenging for these guys with the bumps out there and bumpy all the way around the track.
Oh, it is absolutely a bump fest. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm over here, and I'm looking at our TeamSpeak of drivers who are here. I'm going to drag down Darren Sizemore, who was running in the race earlier. Don't He might be still on the track, actually. So let me go
Errol.
look here real quick here. And Cliff Sizemore is on pit road, so he is not in the race. I'm going to drag Sizemore down, who's behind the wall. Let's talk about his experience so far in this race as we welcome Darren Sizemore. Darren, Chris Scallon, Rick Donathan, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, Darren, unfortunate break for you. It looks like today running 31st, and it looks like your car's behind the wall. But talk about the racing out there and the wildness so far.
It's a tough track, man. You go into these corners and the car just pushes up randomly. You're going over them bumps. That was our downfall today. We got into some accidents there. We just could not, keep the car under control.
Well, talk about the patience out there a little bit. I know there's been a lot of mistakes being made early in that race. I know the pack is spread out now. What have you noticed from the packs of cars? Has it just been mistakes by people? Is it impatience? What have you seen?
It's mostly impatience. Just, putting the car where it doesn't belong, on lap 1. Like, we had a few cars there going 3 wide right at the start, which I thought was a bonehead move myself. But yeah, now it seems like everybody's driving pretty good, Seems like they're driving with their heads now more than the start of the race.
Well, it's still a bummer move for you in the 97. Unfortunate deal there, and we'll allow you to send some shout-outs to whoever you'd like to, those watching, and feel free to say hello to somebody.
I got nobody to say hello to.
Oh, he knows
appreciate
someone. Nah, no problem. Well, Darren, appreciate your time, and Rick, you got anything you want to ask Darren?
I tell you what, just tough luck out there, Darren. And you were looking good there, but unfortunately, we got off to a rough start here today. Anybody out there you want to thank?
ExtremeMotorsports99.com.
There you go. Make sure you get over there and check out their website. Darren, appreciate your time, and we will. I'll see you on Wednesday.
See you, man.
Oh, look out! As Rasmussen in the middle of the track, that was almost bad.
Hey, what, Chris? Got to take you back just a few laps ago of the top guys we got running here. Chance Crum and Derek Bardou was working together as they come out of turn 4. Derek Bardou was running up front and leading the race. Chance came out, made I believe a bump got him there coming out of turn 4. Almost lost control. The car went down on the bottom apron, and these guys kind of spread out a little bit, which allows Seth the Merchant, Aaron Davis, and Tyler Ducharme to do a lot more catching up. So these guys are really capitalizing in on the mistakes that Chance Crum and Derek Bardou are making up there. I tell you what, within the next few laps, any more mistakes these guys make up there, these guys are going to be right on their back bumper.
We almost had a mistake made in that pack, actually, as they were going to go by the lap car. Michael Rasmussen, looks like some miscommunication. Somebody didn't communicate with somebody, and Rasmussen ended up in the middle of the track, unfortunately, there. And looks like Ducharme's got some damage down at 08, and he's starting to fall off these 2 cars. So this 3-car pack is easily becoming a 2-car pack now with the damage on the 08. So just an unfortunate deal for them. But so it looks like now we have 2 2-car packs leading the race. To answer your question, Gaming Seal, this is the old CBS ticker. It was somebody who made this in the forums, and I told him I was going to use it today. And I do want to send a shout out to him, Chris Seymour, who put this ticker together. He actually did an old ESPN one too. And basically that is what you're seeing here. It's part of the old school look, kind of the closest thing we could do to an old school race, and have this ticker, and it's working pretty well so far.
Hey, what, Chris? Just taking a look back up here in 5th place, Tyler Ducharme working by himself out there. Aaron Davis, Seth the Merchant have already pulled away from him. Now they're working as hard as they can to kind of catch this group up here. Looks like your Pops is up there on the high side as Derek Bardou and Chance Crum work their way on. Looks like the 15 of...
Oh, he's in the wall hard.
That's
going to bring the caution out.
Wow.
Caution going to come out as Pops has put it in the wall. I think he was just trying to let the leaders go by. Caution number 6 is out, and